Hello, students. So, today we are going to start with another topic that is of sociology, that is deviant subculture theory. As I said, that you have already studied about the labeling theory, about you can say that we are going to hear you are going to study about the subculture theory. You have already studied about the positive approach. So here we are going to start with a subculture theory. So deviant subculture theory. So we already know. I have already explained you about the deviant. That what is a deviant, who are the deviant, and you are well aware of the functionalist theory also, that each and every function is essential for the society, and according to the labeling theory, when the label is put on the person, then he started living with that tagging, and that is more dangerous, and he's stigmatized and he never want to come out from that stigma. As well as we have seen the positive approach theory, where the Cesar Lombroso has given his theory, that criminals are born, and he told some biological traits, on that we can identify the criminals. So here in the subculture theory, the subculture theorists argue, this theory was given by Martin, and in this theory, subculture theory argues that the deviance is the result of whole group breaks off from society who have deviant values, subculture, and deviant is a result of these individuals conforming to the values and norms of the subculture to which they belong. So, subculture means that it is a part of the main culture. Main culture means our society where we are living. We are living, I am living, you are living. But if someone start thinking of some in other way, and he's not going to follow the rules, the norms of the society, and he feel in like burden in just following the rules and of this society, then he is becoming a part of the subculture theory. Like, take an example of the criminals. The crime is a part, we can say that crime is inevitable, and we can see crime in each and every society, but somewhere these people, uh, they are distinct from those held by the majority people, which they are following the norms and the rules and the regulation. They are different from those, and they build up their own culture. They do not digest, they do not want to be a part of the main culture anymore, and they start creating at that moment only, they start becoming the part of the subculture. And subculture itself says that it is a part of the main culture, main society, and the criminals, the deviant, they are also having, they are also having their own culture, and which is very much which is very much which is different from our culture, and or we can say a mirror word, or we can say the opposite culture. So subculture, we can find it out that subculture are those groups that have values and norms that are distinct from those held by majority. Or we can say a subculture is a group of that has values that are different to the mainstream culture. Subculture theorists argue that the deviance is the result of the whole group breaking off the society who have deviant values. So the people, when they don't want to follow the rules and regulation of the mainstream, they become the part of the subculture. And these deviant, they are having their own culture, and they follow their norms, and deviance is the result of these individuals conforming to the values and norms of subculture to which they belong. And somewhere this means society is responsible for the growth and development of this subculture. So, subculture theorists build upon the work of the Merton. They say that deviance is the result of individuals converting to the values and norms of social group. They started moving away apart from the main society, and they start building up their own culture to which they belong. If I belong to a social group whose norms are different from those of the main society, then you will become a deviant. Then we can say that you are the part of a deviant culture. In criminology, subculture theory emerged from the work of Chicago schools on gangs and developed through the symbolic interactionism school into a set of theories arguing that certain groups or subculture in society have values and attitudes that are conducive to crime and violence. And their they are the norms and the values that are totally different from the main culture. If in the main culture the morality, we all know that morality, ethical values have holding a great importance, but in the subculture theory these things do not exist. And in the main society we find that to reach on the top we have to work very hard, but in the subculture, in the subculture, in the subculture, they don't have to work very hard. And they won't have to study hard, and they won't have to work hard to reach on the top by killing any person, by just knowing to operate the guns, different type of weapons, and they can reach on top. In the main society, as we find that uh, in the main society we find that reaching on top it's very tough and it's very struggling, and there are no shortcuts. But in the subculture, the people adopt the shortcut, adopt the shortcuts as well as in a day, and they reach on the top. It's very easy for them. So if we talk about the subculture, then we can say that Cohen said that the lower working class boys want to achieve the success which is valued by mainstream culture, but due to the educational failure and the debt and jobs that result from this, they have little chances of achieving these goals. This result in the state of frustration, the boys at the bottom of the social structure and have little changes of gaining higher status in the society. This is similar to Merton theory. However, Cohen said that instead of turning to crime, as Merton said, that they reject the norms and values of the mainstream society. So, the subculture theory, the people, those who are the part of the subculture theory, they reject the norms and the values of the mainstream society. So, somewhere the society is responsible for giving birth to this subculture theory, and turn to the norms and the values of a delinquent subculture. In this subculture, the boys can achieve success because their social group has different norms and values from rest of the society. So he just want to just explain this thing with an example that there were a few boys, and they due to the educational failure and the dead end of the job, there were very little chances in the mainstream of the society to achieve their goals, whatever the goals they were having. So the frustration was there, and uh, these uh, uh, these boys started moving away from the society norms and values, and they reject the norms and the values of the main society, and turn to the norms and value of the delinquent subculture or the deviant subculture. And in this subculture, because they were somewhere, they were neglected from the main society, they were unable to make a place for them, and in the subculture it was very easier for them to reach on top, and they got the recognition very easily over here. In the subculture, the boys can achieve these, the same similar boys, those who were not getting, those who are those who are finding it difficult to achieve the goals here in the subculture, after becoming the part of the subculture, or we can say after adopting the subculture, and it was very easy for them to reach on the top. And this culture, a high value is placed up criminal act such as stealing, vandalism, which are condemned by the mainstream society. So, in this subculture, the individual who lacked respect in the mainstream society can gain it by committing crimes such as vandalism, or and um, vandalism, and through other deviant means. Because the crime reward the individual with respect, there is not always the need for a monetary value to commit a crime. A person always not commit crime for the monetary values. So the subculture perspective explain why people commit non-utilitarian crime. This means they are not going to get any benefit from the like from that activity, but then also they become the part of the subculture, deviant subculture. The reason behind it, they were somewhere the society, the mainstream society norms, rules, regulation were harsh. He was finding to unable to adjust with this the mainstream society, and he started cutting off himself and becoming the part of the subculture, deviant subculture. And here it was very easy for him to just gain a recognition and respect in the society. So the people, those who are neglected, those who are neglected and rejected by the mainstream society, just become the part of the deviant subculture. So the primary focus is on the juvenile delinquency, because the theorists believe that if this pattern of offending can be understood and controlled, it will break the transition from the teenage offender into a habitual crime. And the sociologists believe that if we understand this subculture theory, and we just control it, that we control on the person, that he's not he just do not reject the values and the norms of the mainstream society, and to be a part of the mainstream society, not to be a part of the subculture, then it will be very easy for us um, uh, to control the habitual crime, because the teenager offender, those who are becoming the part of the subculture, deviant subculture, they gradually convert into or change into a habitual criminal. Some of the theorists are functionalists, assuming that the criminal activity is motivated by economic needs, while other poets are social class, rational for deviance. So some of the functionalist theories, and some of the sociologists who believe in the functionist function of the society, they believe that the criminal activity is generally motivated by economic gain, while others said that no, it is not for the economic gain, economic needs, but for to hold a social position and a class in the society. A subculture is a group that has values are different to the mainstream. As I told you, subculture theorists argue that deviance is a result of the whole group breaking off from society. They start moving away from the mainstream society, and they become the and they become they have their they start following their own ways, own values, own norms, and they become the part of the subculture, deviant subculture. And deviance is a result of these individuals converting to the values and norm. And because they oppose, they reject the mainstream norms and values, that's why they are called the deviants, the subculture to which they belong. In contrast to social control theorists, it is the pull of the peer group that encourages individual to commit crime rather than the lack of attachment of the family or the mainstream institution. Subculture theory also explains that non-utilitarian crimes such as vandalism and joyriding, which is strain theory, cannot really explain deviance's collective response to marginalization. So, subculture theory it says that individuals, those who commit crime, those who are the part of the subculture theory, they are having very less, or we can say the lack of attachment towards their family or the mainstream institutions. Mainstream institution, the family is the part of the mainstream institution, and subculture theory also explain that why the people without in the economic gain, they just do the they become the part of the crime, and in the non-utilitarian, the non in the non-profitable crime such as vandalism and joyriding. Uh, Joyriding, why they become the part of the subculture and why adopt all these things? So, Albert Cohen talk about the deviant subculture emerged because of the status of frustration, and Cohen said that because of the frustration, this the person they start cutting him off from the main society, and he start becoming the part of the deviant subculture. Albert Cohen argues that the working class subculture emerges because they are denied status in society. Just like Martin Cohen argued that working class boys strove to emulate middle class values and aspiration but lacked the means to achieve success. This led to status frustration, a sense of personal failure and inadequacy. So, as I was saying, that sometimes the people they become the part of the subculture, not due to for the monetary values only. Sometimes there is a need, and they become the part of it. But many a time they just cut off from the mainstream because they are unable to digest the norms and the culture and the custom and the tradition of the mainstream society, and they find it tough the norms and the customs. So, the subculture perspective explains why people commit non-utilitarian crime. In the criminology, subculture theory emerged from the work of, as I said, that Chicago gang. We have already discussed about it. So we can say that the subculture strain theory explains deviant behavior as an inevitable outcome of the strain an individual explain when individual individual experiment experience when society does not provide adequate and approved means to achieve culturally valued goals. So strain theory, according to the Merton, as I said, that strain theory talk about that a person is frustrated somewhere, and somewhere the strain is there, and that's why he start cutting him off from the main society and becoming the part of the deviant subculture, because somewhere he is unable to just achieve the cultural goal. Suppose the person is aware that he has to earn the money, but he don't know the actual means, or the means are very tough of the mainstream society. Like we all know that to earn money, it's not easy, and to earn money, this is the goal of the person, of a person, and to achieve this goal, either he can do business or hard work, or he can employ himself somewhere in a job, or he can he can start his own business, own shop, or he can become doctor and engineer. So these are the means, these are the recognized means through which he can achieve to his goals. But where the imbalance created, suppose the father dies, and then obviously shortage of money will be there, and it will be difficult for him to complete his study and to achieve his goal through the means which are recognized by the society. So he will adopt the wrong means, he will adopt the short ways, he just himself just cutting off himself from the mainstream and becoming the part of the subculture then. Because in subculture, by committing crime, by becoming deviant, because he is misguided, he don't want to do, he's not a criminal, he's not a habitual criminal, he is misguided because of the circumstances, and there's a imbalance between the means and the goals, the means, the recognized means, and the goal he want to achieve. There is a imbalance created, and because of that, he become the part of the deviant subculture, and he adopt the wrong means to earn money by becoming a drug peddler or some other means. So, subculture theory, as according to the Cloward and the Olin, three types of subculture. Cloward and the Olin developed the Cohen subculture theory, further explaining it in order to try to explain why different subculture emerge in different regions. So he said that the young people might enter into criminal subculture, conflict subculture, and retreatist subculture. So they suggest that all the illegitimate opportunity structure affect what type of subculture emerges in response to status frustration. The varied social circumstances in which working class youth live give rise to three type of delinquent subculture. He said that uh, n- a person becomes the part when he's unable to accept the mainstream, and he want to just move away from the, and because of the circumstances, and he just started moving away, he's unable to make him his he's unable to get success, he's unable to get success, and unable to get achieve the goals, cultural goals by the recognized means. Then three types of delinquent subculture is there. And criminal subculture, conflict subculture, and the retreatist subculture. So, criminal subculture tend to emerge in the areas, he said, that where there is a lot of organized adult crime is there. There are the criminal role model for the young people, and to commit the criminal act, they influence, they attract, the people are attracted to commit criminal act in the subculture. The young people can link up the professional criminals and criminal ladder by committing more and more crime. And these subculture are normally concerned with the utilitarian crime, which yield financial reward. So the Cohen and Oben talk about Ohen talk about developed when the theory said that there are three different types of subculture. When they have when they have talked about the three different types of the subculture, then the similar criminal subculture, as I said, that trend to emerge in the areas. Uh, he said that here the region wise the people those who are living in the like criminal like the criminals are the role model for the young people. Definitely the young people are get attracted towards the criminal lifestyle and the way they live and the so they become attracted. The children, young children, they get attracted. They don't know what is right and what is wrong, but they get attracted because they are living in the locality, in the region where too many criminals are there, and these criminals become the role model for them, and they also want to become like them. And when they start thinking like this, they become the part of the subculture. They start committing crime and they start reaching higher and higher in the professional criminal ladder by committing more and more crime. So these subculture are normally concerned with the utilitarian crime, and these type of the people commit become the part of subculture by they want to gain financial reward in this. So these on other terms we can say that the criminal subcultures are characterized by the utilitarian crime, means some benefit they are going to give, such as theft. They develop in more stable working class areas where there is an established pattern of crime already. This provide a learning opportunity and a career structure for aspiring young criminals, and an alternative to the legitimate job market as a means of achieving financial reward, because they are going to get the financial gain also. Adult criminal exercise social control over the young to stop them carrying out the non-utilitarian delinquent act such as vandalism, which might attract the attention of the police. And if we talk about the conflict subculture, so conflict subculture trend to emerge in the areas where there is a little organized adult crime. So instead of learning how to commit crime, serious monetary crimes, the young people instead focus on gaining gang respect through gang violence. The conflict subculture talk about emerge in the socially disorganized area. Here, the criminals are not going to live. Here, the we can say that here this. We can say that established pattern of crime is not there and the criminals are not living, but we can say that the conflict subculture emerge in the socially disorganized areas where there is a high rate of a population, first of all, then turnover and a consequent lack of social cohesion, means lack of social, that we can say that lack of social cohesion, these prevent the formation of a stable adult crime subculture. Conflict subculture are characterized by violence of gang war, mugging, and the other street crime. Both approved and illegal means of achieving mainstream goals are blocked unlimited, and young people express their frustration at the situation through violence on street or street crime, and at least obtained status through success in subculture peer group values. This is a possible explanation for the gang culture, which is increasingly appearing in the rundown areas of the UK, India, and in the various countries. So the gang war is a result of this only, because the people here, the crime here, they become the part. Many a time, the people become the part of the deviant subculture. They adopt this because they want to gain respect and they want to show their authority. They want to show their power that they are having, and because of this, the gang wars are there, and the gang violence can be seen. And if we talk about the last, that the retreatist subculture, then we can say that this culture is for the young people who have even failed in the criminal subculture. These people are double failure, means these people are failure in the mainstream culture also, and when they adopted the subculture, here also they are failed. So they are the double failed, double failure people. They have failed to succeed in the both mainstream and in the crime gang culture above. The response is retreat into drug addiction, and they adopt the drug addiction. They start consuming alcoholism and paid for by petty theft and shoplifting and prostitution. etc. So we can say that the retreatist subculture emerged among those lower class youth who are double failures. They are the double failure and they adopt alcoholism and these type of things. So we can now we have understood that the subculture theory is having the subculture theory is a branch of or is a part of a, mainstream only, and somewhere the main culture is totally responsible for this emergence of the subculture theory and for the emergence of the subculture theory we can say. Thank you.